Even I know that. And I've never done it.
Welcome into the channel. I don't know what that's about. Even I know that one. I don't know what that is.
Are we muted?
Nope, you're
No,
unmuted.
I know.
Nope.
Just as you said.
I
Even I know
said
that
we're
one.
going into everybody.
To catch a hand, noun, to be punched in the face.
Yes. Wait, it's a verb.
Verb, sorry, fuck.
A noun, yes.
After a good start.
No idea.
Our GM, everybody.
It's okay. Words aren't important. We're only playing a heavily word-based game.
Yeah. Words and numbers.
So welcome in. Welcome to GoblinCaveTV. My name is Karsh Goblin, and we are here with our Saints and Sinners, our 39th episode, getting close to being the longest running campaign that we've had. Just 11 episodes more before we kill off everybody and then have some drinks and call it a day. No, maybe not.
I'm assuming the longest running was Rusty Daggers, right?
Yeah, so you'll win that one too.
Long time.
But you went in
And
for the
how many
last
episodes
one.
was that?
50.
Oh yeah.
We finished up on
wow.
50.
Only 50
so
episodes?
We're still going. We're still, well, I was going to say mostly alive.
The only time we don't say we're all going to die, one of us actually did die.
Oh yeah,
I genuinely thought that we were in a better place, and then that fight started, and I was like, oh, no, we're not.
Oh, look at that dice roll. Oh.
I was like, how could it get worse than when Ashe was kidnapped? And then it did.
And then our lovely DM said, hold my tea.
Yeah. No, I think the whole thing was like we had a plan. It all relied on
And that's the tease.
surprise, and it's immune to surprise. That was the whole plan.
And that time stop.
Oh, it could have been a whole lot worse, but we'll get to that after everything else because that's going to take.
Yes.
So, we're here for our 39th episode. We have Syrinscape in the background. Syrinscape does amazing audio. I love it. That's what we have quite often in the background. We also have Battle Bards also being run in the background for a lot of the maps for Lorian Ross's creative dungeon 5D extraordinaire thingy. Do you have a name for it?
The dungeon.
Yeah.
The Farlight Penteract.
Okay, that's a lot of letters to try to not be able to spell. No. Using Battle Bards as well. We do have
I'll get to that. I have a because of the new licensing deal we've managed to get hold of. We have a little advert to run. Nothing video. I'll just speak it, but we'll do that once you've got through your announcements.
Well, I was about to start talking about Battle Bards, so you can do the Battle Bard speakment, and
yeah, sure.
I'll just do the link in chat.
Yeah. So Battle Bards, we have signed up for a podcaster license with Battle Bards, and part of that we can offer viewers of this channel a discount to their subscription at battlebards.com. So with the link that Karsh will be providing in chat, you can click the link, go and sign up for their monthly subscription at a discount. You'll have access to all their music for free. You'll have access to their mixer, their caster, and their what you call it? I've forgotten the name of the thing. Their soundboard. That's the word I was looking for. And you can upload and mix your own stuff. You can combine and then use the caster to send to all your players. But not too dissimilar to Syrinscape. And if you're a subscriber, you get discounts on purchases to download it. So you can have everything for free on their online tools. But if you want to buy it and download it for use elsewhere, you get a discount as well. So follow the coupon code in the chat, the code GoblinCaveTV, capital G, capital C, capital T, and V. And then go and check out. And if you subscribe, it'll help the channel. So thank you very much, and thank you, Battle Bards.
Awesome. And again,
I've got a ways to go before I get as good as Samurai Eagle, but we'll get there.
it's weird doing advertisements. Get used to it, but it is weird doing advertisements.
One day will be a real channel.
For the YouTube VOD, would you put it in the description? That link that you're putting in chat right now?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll
So check the descriptions
I'll
below.
Get into the VODs, as well, into
Yes.
YouTube. Oh, by the way, we have a YouTube channel. So if you're not watching on YouTube, we have a YouTube channel. Go check it out. GoblinCaveTV on YouTube. All our previous episodes from all of our role-playing stuff is up on YouTube, plus some of the Let's Play stuff, which is don't even bother about it. I do apologize for our early stuff. I was inexperienced. I was naive. I thought it looked good. It really didn't. But we're getting there. We're progressing. But check us out on
That's
YouTube.
alright, you know.
If you are watching YouTube, like, subscribe, all the bits and pieces. It helps the algorithm to tell them, like, to get other people involved and get other people noticing. It's really important.
That was the pain of me dealing with my music portfolio. Is that I made a bunch of stuff, then realized this. Then I got better, realized it was all terrible, and I having to do it all again.
Mm-hmm.
We can't redo those shows from like years ago. It's not going to happen.
I know. But you still have these ones.
Yes.
You can see the growth. I'm not deleting the old songs. I'm just doing better ones.
Yes.
So yes, like, subscribe, all the bits and pieces. We are going to actually start doing shows on YouTube soon. So we are going to launch a YouTube-only show. It's not going to come on Twitch. It's only going to be on YouTube. So that's going to be happening very soon. It's going to be on Sunday nights for USA time. It's going to be our City of Mist, Nights in Paintown. We've got a cast organised. We're going to have some meetings over the next couple of weeks. And it's going to be only on YouTube. So that's going to be a different thing. It's a testing the waters. And it's also a way of growing our YouTube side, because it's never been a major part of the channel, but that's what we're going to be trying to do, is grow that.
Are you doing YouTube live, or are you doing just pre-recorded sessions?
YouTube live. We are going to be live on YouTube, just like we're live on Twitch.
Hey.
Oh yes, twitch.tv/GoblinCave.
Nice.
Yes.
Yep. Or YouTube/GoblinCaveTV. Yes, it's also GoblinCaveTV on Twitch.
TV.
Not Goblin Cave. He's a nice German. Don't treat him badly. He's a nice guy. But he's also got our old Goblin Cave Twitch, which is I'm wearing apparently his logo on my shirt now, because it was ours. Old merch.
Gee, do you think we're actually, you know what, putting off what's going to happen soon?
No, I'm not doing that. Just got a few announcements. We also have donations. If you donate to the channel, it helps us out. Every $1, 100 bits donations helps out the channel. If you donate to a specific person, that person gets a dice. It increases in value, and etc. etc. So that's pretty much it. I think it's now time to do the other introductions. Hi, my name's Karsh. I'm going to be playing Warwick, the disgruntled paladin who somehow is a human being and not in a gutter somewhere bleeding to death. That's pretty much his life, or was his life. Will?
Yes. I remember when we first started doing the show, where we're just like, okay, Karsh is gonna speak for about 10 minutes by himself, and then we're all just silent. We don't go to everybody, and then it comes to us when the show happened afterwards. I remember those days. But now we just go to everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember those days. Because we were muted too, so we were talking when he was talking too. It was really funny. Anyways, hello everybody, my name is Will. I'm playing Ashe, the Fire Genasi Artificer. She's fiery, she has a temper, and she's trying to be nicer. So, yes, that's it for me.
She's mean.
Hi everyone, I'm Del. I'm playing Reservoir, the Water Genasi sorcerer, who is learning the perils of intellectual curiosity, but also, that's not going to change.
Well, teenagers do have that, young teenagers, teeny boppers.
She's not a teenager! She's now 12! She is officially a tween!
Yeah, I was saying
Less than teenager.
Tweeny boppers do have that curiosity on life and things around them, surroundings. Just wait till she goes through puberty. Again.
Know what you think about, like, human biology, but 12 is, like, at that point.
I know. Just calling
Chaos
it old.
magic. Not even once.
Oh well. MLP.
Hello, I'm MrLiveProducer. I'll be playing your Dwarven Barbarian Ranger, Burlock, UNGUART, and yeah, it's going to be a fun session. I use the word fun. It does not mean what I think it means.
He said enthusiastically.
Hooray! Character growth.
I just want to also put this out there before we start. It's probably going to be a shorter session. We're going to also probably have a debrief on the dungeon itself.
The Firelight Pentera.
That one.
Yeah.
The one that
So
I couldn't pronounce or spell.
So it's going to be half the session is going to be the normal game, and then go to break. When we come back from break, we'll debrief the dungeon and go through the things that you didn't get to see.
Also, we'll have a brand new overlay.
Some of the things you didn't get to see.
And a brand new.
I don't know if I'm going to spoil all of it.
Like the resurrection chamber.
There's no such thing as that.
Damn.
There's a hyperbolic time chamber here, so maybe there might be
Yeah.
one
That
around the corner.
Like you fucking wish.
Experience? No. Lorian?
All right.
Hey, there's no one else. I'm Lorian Ross, and I am your dungeon master for tonight. And if there's nothing else to go through, let's jump in to tonight's episode of Saints and Sinners. When last we left the party, Ava, the human monk, Burlock, the dwarf barbarian, Ashe, the Genasi artificer, Reservoir, the Genasi sorcerer, and Warwick, the human paladin. The party, having found their long-lost comrade Ashe, having been separated in the maze, and having found, with the help of the Arcanaloth Y'shtara, a method of resting themselves in a short period of time in an area of dilated passage of time, they brace themselves for the final encounter with the Archmage Mordinkinen, who, in a brief moment of clarity in between his being under the effects of the spell Sequester, told the party in between fits of pain that whatever is in him, whatever was controlling him, he could not keep at bay much longer. The party fought off some time elementals. We besieged them at the inside this hyperbolic time chamber, and then proceeded to the room. They awoke Mordinkinen from his sequester, whereupon the parasitic and aberrant light that had been pervasive in this dungeon seemed to manifest in a great intensity inside the Archmage, completely taking control of his body and setting himself on the party. A vicious battle ensued, with spells flown from the Archmage, blinding bursts of sunlight, radiant destructions which burned the party and blinded them. It was a hard-fought battle, with Ava bravely using her key and her quick fists to target Mordenkinen's pressure points to knock out his reactions, preventing him from shielding himself from the worst of your barrage. However, the fire shield he had conjured around him took its toll on her, and she fell, burned by the fire and by the radiance. As the rest of you moved in for a finishing blow, Mordinkinen took his dagger, or at least his dagger was puppeteered by another force and plunged into Ava's heart. Whereupon you saw the breath leave her lungs, her eyes roll back, and her hands go limp on the ground. Burlock, in a fit of rage, dealt the finishing blow, cleaving Mordenkinen's body in half. Unfortunately for Mordinkinen, a previously set-up clone ensures his survival. But the fate of your fellow monk and friend is not so assured. So, as the quiet descends over this room. What are you all doing as you see Ava lying down on the ground before you?
Ava! I'm gonna run over towards her body. And lean down next to her. And then I'm going to just look around and say, does anyone have a diamond? Anything?
The girl is dead and you're asking for loot?
No, you... No.
I have a 50 gold piece diamond.
I'm going to look at the spell really fast. Let me check my inventory as well.
I've got a feather, but that's not diamond. That's about all I've got.
I think it's 50. Let me double check.
It's 300.
Yeah, chromatic orb is my 50 gold piece.
Why do you need a diamond? What's going on?
Ava is dead. We need a
diamond.
diamond so I can cast the spell, you idiot.
That's different than... I don't have any...
Burlock just looks at Warwick with a glare.
Let's see. I don't...
I'm going to start
have a diamond.
trying to find something on Mordenkinen's body. Maybe he had components.
Make an investigation check.
Can I run an assist with that one?
Time is of the essence.
Yeah.
Let me check our treasure.
Sorry,
What's your investigation, Del?
just one right now. My
Alright, do one give me?
Yeah, I'll give you advantage because I touched that table. I'm stupid right now.
All right. Here we go.
I just realized I'd opened Circus. What was the number?
12.
12. You search through his body, and you find a small necklace, a crystal around his neck, with a dimly glowing sapphire set in the middle. And Reservoir, you've been around wizards enough to recognize an arcane focus as opposed to a component pouch. Something he can use to channel instead of, non-specific materials. Doesn't
But
appear
even-
to have a component pouch on him.
Like, sometimes components with costs don't work with that. Because, like, for my chromatic orb, like, I've got my arcane focus, but since it has a cost, I needed other things. I don't know.
Anything of value.
He is-
Anything.
I will. He doesn't. You can't seem to find anything. There are a couple of components, but no diamonds.
I'm going to look at Ishtara, or is that the name of the Arcana Loth? Ishtara? Yes, I think so. That's what I've written down. Do you have anything? Please! A diamond or a gem of some kind?
Back in, I do, but no. Well, back in the tower, we'd have to.
We have no time. Her body's decaying as we speak.
How long do we have?
GM question. Can we substitute a diamond or no?
Oh, that is a specific component of the spell, which is a requirement. It's not
Requirement.
short of very powerful magic, like a wish spell, perhaps. But other than that, no.
Wouldn't she come back all mongulated if you like substitute components for spells such like this? You don't want to turn into a Mongol man, would you?
How are you? How can you be sarcastic? She's dead.
I'm not being
And
sarcastic. I'm being honest.
I don't
Well,
understand.
can you take us back to the tower now, quickly,
Quickly,
before anything happens?
Yes, of course.
I will
Quickly.
pick up the body of my fallen friend,
Just,
and as I walk past, Mordinkinen just give it a kick with my boot because I'm pissed.
And we need his
He-
body too.
Oh, I just realized something. I've still got firelight sickness, which means I'm gonna get out because of the freaking barrier.
I mean, I don't. Does Ashe?
I don't want to have fallout sickness.
I don't.
Quick, take her.
Ash does.
We can come back.
Ash did.
I did. I don't
also,
have it anymore, I believe.
Ava did.
Ava did.
Yeah, but Ava's dead.
Does it fade away with death or no?
you take a look, and the light seems to have diminished. Yes. Where once before because she had it in the most advanced out of all of you, to the extent where she was beginning to glow, and that glow has now disappeared.
Even this, we've got like we're not walking back
We've
there.
gotta
We
go,
have to
we've gotta
teleport back there.
go,
We need
go,
time.
go.
We aren't even going past that thing.
It's
Don't think.
it's too late. It has to be too late now.
No. There's always a way. Quick. Let's just get her to the tower.
It's just
Yeah.
the next room.
Warwick, come over here and just lift her up and just take her, all right? Make yourself useful.
I lift her up and start. Go over to the nodule and flip to the other side of the room. To then open the door.
You
Oh wait, no, we don't have
We
to
were
flip.
on
it's
the
through.
proper.
right-
We were on the
We're on the
proper
right
side
side, yeah.
anyway.
and open the door.
We don't.
You open the door, and then you see the crackling, arcane object which maintains the darkness around this place, and the ladder heading upwards.
Someone take his body as well, just in case.
No.
I'm just gonna throw in the bag of holding.
That'll do. And see if I can get
Whatever pieces he
up
has left.
the ladder and out.
You don't need the body. There is another body back there. Take the robe if you must take anything.
Take the
I
robe,
had a
rip
dagger.
it off.
Could have had anyone.
We're
Anyway,
not here to loot. Let's get out of here.
I'm going
I
up
rip
the
off the
ladder if I
robe
can.
and we leave.
Alright. You proceed up the ladder.
I will attempt to follow with my firelight sickness, but
Okay. Make a strength check. Or athletics check.
Athletic
normal.
18.
18.
18
Nope.
will not do it. As you pull the rungs, your muscles strain as this force is pushing downwards on you, magnifying gravity where you feel your hands slipping. You hear
What
from
am I-
below, Ishara, you won't be able to, it's too secure. Come, let your friend go, and I'll make a dark. We'll find a place to cast darkness, and we can let it subside in there, and we'll join you later.
Let's go in
Fine.
the other room.
Just get her safe.
Go
By
in the other
now,
room,
it
if you
is
can.
very clear to everyone that a minute has passed. And the opportunity for a quick revivify has passed. You know that to bring her back, a more involved ritual will be required. So, who is taking her out of the dungeon?
2 questions.
I'll try.
DM questions. Can the Iconoloth actually see through magical darkness?
You ask her? I can, yes.
Good. And I would want to yell for Kashara. So, Kashara!
She comes up and says, she's kind of just been like watching from a distance and not saying anything. But she comes up and says, yeah, what can I do?
Well, can you do and what? Sorry.
Can you lead us through the darkness?
No, I was thinking. Also, give Reservoir the stuff. I don't know if it's going to be any use, but give it to her. She might be able to use it somehow. And then look cold, dead into. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. This staff that she had swiped from the body, hands it to you, Reservoir. The staff of Dunamancy.
I'll take it.
If it could stop time, maybe. Can it be cast on a body?
I don't know. I don't know its properties. It would take me time to identify it or attune to it.
Well, see what we can do. And I will... Before we go up, after I've attempted to go up the ladder, I will ask the person to drop me into the study where there probably are some more scrolls of darkness. And just run a scroll of darkness on me.
I can give you one of the ones that I took. I think I took all of them.
Fair enough. Because I know that time's of the essence. I would know how to get back to the study, and I will go to the study, read the scroll of darkness, and put myself in darkness and just muse.
Okay. Does anyone else have any points of sickness? Or is it just Burlock?
I think Warwick did, right?
No.
Or you rolled athletics.
No.
I have no sickness.
Oh,
Okay.
I was never touched.
It's just Burlock.
I fought at
I-
range.
yeah. I just saw the athletics roll, so I was assuming. Okay.
Well, I was taking the body out, and that was my role.
Okay.
Silently following along, knowing that time has passed already.
Make your way out, finally bidding farewell to this hell of a dungeon. But it's not the triumphant exit you would have hoped for. As slowly you proceed back through the darkness, your imp guiding your path through as the gravel and the dirt of the ground crunches beneath your feet. It is a long and arduous walk. But eventually, you find your way out of the sphere of darkness and find yourself once more in the heat and the blighted landscape of Avernus.
Oh, I can't say I've
And you
missed it.
And off in the distance, where you had arrived on this island, you see a small stone dais raised above the ground. Where the other end of the teleportation circle resides. And strangely enough, as you walk towards it, by the time you reach the dais, you're about to teleport out, and you turn, and you see Burlock, who you had spent 20 minutes in the dungeon, sitting in darkness, and now that you were confident that your sickness had passed, went up and joined them, and you caught right up to them sooner than you could have anticipated. Which, by now, you would ascertain to be the relative effects of time, Burlock traveling faster than you as he was closer to the dungeon.
Quick, hurry. As much fun as this is,
Is there a room somewhere we can put a...
Not without even the time to think and consider, you return to the circle, activate the teleportation sigil, and in a flash of light, you find yourself once more back in the familiar, somewhat familiar, tower of Mordinkinen.
Are there still those ransacking demons?
The tower's a lot quieter than it was. The demons that were fighting are gone. You see a few blood splatters on the ground. And it's otherwise, the upstairs is quiet. There is the door, which they had been barging against, which is locked. And behind you, the set of spiral staircases heading downwards into the atrium.
We should get Lulu, shouldn't we?
Shatara, is there a place that we can lay a body and try to figure this out, please?
Am I secure?
There are tables here and there, some of them littered with bits of paper and books and quills. You know, downstairs there'd be more comfortable furniture, where Mordinkinen would slide back to accept and meet up with would-be guests and business partners.
I would take one of the more comfortable chairs and just guide Warwick to put Ava down there, just to see if she can rest peacefully for the moment.
Alright. Who's going to get Lulu?
I will just hold on to a wall, and I will, if we're close enough, see through the eyes of an enemy, because I left my familiar with her.
You do. Your eyes kind of close, and there's a tunneling sensation, whereas before you suddenly blink open and you see through the eyes an enemy downstairs with Lulu sat not too far by, hovering in the air, kind of hovering backwards and forwards, seemingly impatient. And a human man sat on one of the recliners, kind of hands in a triangular position, seemingly deep in thought. Just sat there at the bottom. He looks studied. He's wearing robes. Doesn't seem to be carrying any weapons of sorts.
Okay.
It doesn't take a stretch of the imagination to recognize a magician of sorts.
Okay. And you said this is downstairs, like in Mordenkainen's tower?
Yeah, you recognize it as the atrium.
Okay. They're in the atrium. I'll go and we'll start running down to get them. There's someone with them. I'm not sure who it is, but they seem comfortable enough around him.
Go get Lulu.
Do I think that it could possibly be Mordenkainen?
It didn't look like him.
Okay, it didn't look like him.
No. You run down, and as you turn the corner, suddenly Lulu, who's pacing backwards towards, Reservoir?
Lulu, we need help.
You're like, why are you a child? What's going on?
It's a long story.
There is a flash of recognition of your dire expression, and the telepathic link cuts off, but you feel this sudden, almost like a telepathic gasp of worry.
If it's not okay, Lulu.
The man stands up and he kind of looks around, and you see him kind of read the situation. I'll be down here when you need me. Take care of your business. And he goes and sits back down.
I'll just run back upstairs.
Yeah, Lulu follows. And then, as soon as she turns the corner and sees Ava's body, there is a a sound that comes from her. It's like her trumpeting, but just shrill and piercing and like a lamentation. And you hear in your head, "No, no, what happened?" And she flies over and it just starts hovering, and sort of not even hovering, just lands on Ava's shoulder and kind of just starts like looking around. You all hear in your head, "What happened? Well, why? What happened?"
It
We
wasn't
ran
good.
into a powerful foe.
We were murdered by the person we were sent to save, actually. So
As
I
much as
agree.
I want to give the blame to Mordinkinen, it wasn't him. If anyone can save her right now, it's actually him. But either way,
Where is he? Shouldn't he be here?
where is he?
Yshtara, who's came in after you, he would be upstairs. He is, I imagine, probably not in the best condition at the moment. The spell is not elegant, shall we say. I will go tend to him, and I will search for any components while I'm there. Your patience, please. And she goes over to the door, and you hear her mutter something under her breath, and then you hear a lock click. She opens the door and heads upstairs, closes the door behind her, and you hear
Burlock during this time will be spending time dealing with Ava's wounds as much as he can.
Hulu, do we
find-
need to worry about the man downstairs?
She doesn't seem to be like even listening. There's something you see her, like her focus is dead on Ava, but there's a look of like confusion over her face. It's like she's trying to recall something. There's something there. I can't. Curse this memory loss. There's got to be a way I can help.
I don't know if it'll help, but I will try to, as she's trying to remember, I'll spend 2 sorcery points and bend luck. So if she's making an ability check or saving throw or attack roll, but I'm doubting it's that
Recall
last of them, she can add 1d4
Okay.
to it.
Right. Okay. She closes her eyes and focuses, and suddenly, all of you, there is this telepathic flash as you all see a vision, a projection of sorts. You're flying over water, and your body, you feel big and imposing, a large creature flying over this body of water, and you know that there's someone on your back, a woman, and you turn to look behind you, and you see this horde of demons and devils climbing up a hill towards some point on top. And as you look behind, there is a flash of light and a great pillar that arcs upwards into the sky, piercing through the black clouds of Avernus, which part, revealing for the first time a semblance of a sky above before they start to close back in. And then the light fades and closes. A voice from your back, you hear say, "It is done. She's gone then." And the vision goes black. And then Lulu opens her eyes. "I remember. I'm gonna need your help."
Do you need?
"I need you to call to her. I remember the magic, I remember the spell. But I need you to help call and to bring her back." Lulu, thanks to that memory, recalled the ability to cast her innate spell, Raise Dead, which is on the Hollyphant spell list. And so, as she settles down, as Ava's kind of like lying on the chair, Lulu kind of burrows into her lap and starts to glow. And it's not like the sickly, almost greenish glow of the light in the dungeon you have just left. This is warmth. This is comfort. This is the hearth and sunlight and the stars in the sky. This is a light which you have missed so dearly. The light of the heavens, as it glows and fills and radiates this space. We are going to begin the Resurrection Skill Challenge. 3 of you will need to step forward and tell me how you are going to help call out to Ava. Call out into the ether. What will you bring to help guide her soul back to her body?
Well, I'll go first because Burlock was working on the body, knowing that a monk's Ava was trained to be a weapon and to be a monk and to help people. I would understand, hopefully, that by helping her body, it would help her mind.
So,
I would like to do.
I would like you to make, as you start to seal the wounds, close up, stitch together the wound in her chest, bandage the bruises, I'd like you to make a medicine check.
And I bend luck for him as well.
I was hoping for that. No, I'm hoping for medicine
If you can, how many times can you use it? It's just sorcery points, right?
It's sorcery points, and I didn't use any in that battle because, as I was planning to, he died.
You absolutely can, yeah.
I can do that for everyone.
Well, let's see how we go first.
15. 24.
Yeah.
With that, the wounds, you, to the best of your ability, seal them up. And it is some of the best battlefield medical work you've done. And you know that the body is secured and safe to return to.
As
You're
much
confident in that.
as I would love to, I would just love to run my hands through Ava's hair and say, "Come back to us, you stupid child."
Alright. Who else would like to step up?
Karsh is currently sitting down, hands slumped in her head, and she's not moving.
Still 2 opportunities to reduce the DC
Del,
of the final check.
Reservoir.
If no one's stepping forward, Reservoir will approach. Time has been weird here. Even outside of that strange place. And although I have not known you for very long, I've seen the effect that you have had on this world. And I've seen what your determination can do, and how much you care for these people. Please come back to us.
Can you please make a persuasion check? There's one more check to go. As you call out into whatever space, whatever planar space exists between this world and the next, you call out, reaching out desperately to find whatever was once lost, to help find it again and guide it back with your words of kindness and companionship. You feel like something heard you.
I look expectantly towards the others.
Who would like to make the final check?
Ashe is going to look up, seeing Reservoir look over towards her, and she's going to look over towards where Burlock is standing over there. And I'm going to look at Warwick. He's going to just tell him,
I've been trained only for the funerals, not for bringing
You're
people
her
back.
friend!
"You
Yes, you were going to save her!
When someone dies, they die.
Phil just looks
please,
at Warwick.
Warwick,
Well then,
please.
if someone's going to die, at least make sure they get a proper send-off. Because this might be the last time she might be able
Warwick, please, I can't do
to
it.
us.
I can't do it, Warwick. If not for her, then for everyone here. Please, you have to do this. What?
Well, considering she might still hear you, at least say something to Chirpy. Because if she can still hear us, at least let the last voice she hears is someone giving her peace in this hard place. Let the last words
I
be
started in the
nice and
funeral
not horrible.
rites. I started in the funeral rites, but instead of, but halfway through I did change it to a all my training is that death is natural, death is how things are. If there is to be a death, I do offer myself instead of hers. I offer my body and my soul to bring her back if need be.
And luck.
You kneel beside her and offer up this prayer to whatever might hear you, offering an exchange.
Essentially,
It's a ceremony.
partially ceremony. My last spell for the day.
I would like you to make a religion check with advantage.
I can't recall the last time I made a religion check.
25. As you watch, you see Lulu's form glow, bright, and not quite blinding, but enough to make you shield your eyes. And in the light beyond her, in the other side of the room, you see a glowing white figure, a female figure, standing there, a figure you've seen before. And she just looks at you and solemnly nods, and then fades. With the three components of the ritual offered up, Lulu starts to glow, and the spell takes hold. I will now roll a flat d20 to determine the outcome of the ritual. as the light glows, there is almost the sound of a thunderclap. And the tower seems to shake. And for a moment, you glance outside, and there, in the clouds, those dark, black clouds that for weeks and weeks and weeks have blanketed the sky with unnatural darkness, to be lit only by the fires below. You see a break in those clouds, and a thin, needle-thin point of light shines down through the sky, through the fire and meteors falling from the heavens, through the smoke and ash, and finds its way to the window of the tower, beneath which Ava is sitting, with Lulu aglow on her lap. The light shines down, and you see Lulu lift, her wings not fluttering now, just lifting with some force of divine power, and Ava's body kind of starts to get weightless, lifting off the chair. The light grows bright, and again, unlike the horrendous, corrupting light of the tower, there is a power and a force of goodness in this light, which is welcoming even in this dark place. And as Ava, her body relaxes, falls into the chair, Lulu dims, and her eyes open, and she flutters up, and you all look and wait. A moment passes, 2 moments, and as the seconds lengthen and time seems to stretch on forever, still unconscious, the toll of the fight and the experience of that place, she's out cold, but mercifully you see her chest rise and fall.
If you could see a dwarf ugly crying right now, this would be it.
I'm gonna give her a couple healings with the staff.
I'll drop a
Just
cure
one
wound.
because I used a lot.
Just
No.
let her rest and recover, and actually this is possibly a shock to the system.
She's gonna get up and leave the room.
Don't know why it says range, but no extra 7 for her as well.
Be careful, there's someone down there.
Leave, shut the door.
Ashe leaves and goes off quietly on her own. And thank the 7 heavens.
No, thank you, Lulu. Thank you for remembering.
With 3 successful checks, you reduce the DC to... it was started at 10. Each successful check reduced it by 3. And I rolled a 5.
Oh my
So
god.
as long as you didn't roll a 1.
Yeah. But had a check failed, that might be...
You had that D20. You still got 1 D20 left.
I will
by the way.
send a picture of the D20 in Discord.
I just look over to Warwick. Thank you for helping. That was stupid. But thank you for helping.
Young child, please don't call me stupid. Respect your elders.
Burlock, his dad says, "No, you're stupid, but thank you. I just hope you haven't made more issues for you later. But we don't know what happens if one of us die down here."
How many celestial beings are you linked to now? What, you've made your oath as a paladin, Tiamat's apparently your best friend, and now whatever you just bargained with.
What, do you think that I won't do the same for your life?
No, my point is simply that if you ever do die, there is going to be a fierce battle over your soul.
It's up to them to sort out. I don't need another
We're glad.
tattoo.
Yeah,
You
well,
should be glad that they didn't take you up on it right away.
As you're kind of waiting, the door opens and Yshtara enters. He says, I've managed to procure a diamond which should be sufficient for the spell, and I have a couple more scrolls. Oh. Huh. Pity you didn't need my help.
oh no.
No, but
Help
perhaps
is-
we will in the future.
Perhaps. I'm pleased for you.
Yes, well, as much as I love to lay the blame at you and Mordinkinen, I understand that this was something else, but
I mean,
yeah, I'm not going to be very happy with Mordinkinen, so I wouldn't talk as much.
you need not worry. He is in no state to see anyone at the moment. You need not speak with him. He is going to take time to recover from what his spirit went through.
Well,
Fantastic. Well, before that whole ordeal, we did actually come here for something, so hopefully you
Yes.
could be as amenable as to give us time to recover here as well and then speak with us on that subject.
Of course, of course.
And someone
In the
mentioned there's someone
meantime-
downstairs.
There
There's
is.
someone downstairs.
Yes, a gentleman. He seemed to be a caster, though unconcerned with dealing with whatever problem.
Lily,
You
did you
left
get
me
a
a
name
message
for
for?
the person?
He didn't speak much. I didn't. He
Also,
just said,
time's weird.
Yes. How long has it been, Lulu?
it's been like 2 hours.
Good.
Okay,
Good. You
How
still
long has
have
it been for you? How long has it been for you?
let's just say that some of us have gotten older
a few
and some of us
days.
have gotten younger.
Yeah, I mean, now that
Warwick, I
that's
will.
all out the way, what happens? Why are you a child?
Can we talk about it after we've finished all of this craziness? I will tell you all, but after. I'm more concerned about the fact that a member of our party has run off, a member of our party is unconscious, and there is a random person downstairs.
In a plane of hell, which Avernus, sorry, that
They didn't seem
And
fiendish.
I thought you might be concerned about the fact that is there laws about studying magic for your age, or are you allowed to at your age?
Warwick. Shush. Elders are speaking now. Child can be quiet.
Excuse me.
And I do believe that he
Oh.
was referring to you and not me.
Oh yeah, no, I'm old. I'm older than you, dwarf.
That reminds me. Seeing as you apparently have no need of this diamond, I want to see if this works. And Yshtara pulls out a scroll and sort of pulls it out, crushes the diamond, and scatters it over your reservoir, and casts Greater Restoration. And you breathe in, hoping, and you open your eyes, and you're still the same height as you were before. But suddenly there's this mental barricade that seems to lift as your intelligence score is restored to what it was before.
Oh, that's very nice.
Well,
I don't think it helped in the desired way, but it helped in a different way.
strange. Wild magic. There must be books on it somewhere upstairs. I mean, part of my recompense for everything you've done for us, I will endeavor to find a way to restore you to your proper appearance, but for the time being, did that do anything?
It did actually. I've been a little bit. It's almost like I've been sleep deprived ever since. Well, you weren't there for it, but and I gesture over to the boys and Ava. I maybe messed around with some things I shouldn't have. Tried to copy down a few runes that didn't want to be copied, which I probably still shouldn't be curious about, and yet.
Oh, you naive thing. Of course, you consider yourself very lucky. I've seen individuals have their entire minds wiped by the secrets they unearthed there.
Well, as much as I was fascinated by the entirety of that place, I think that we won't be returning anytime soon, so.
No, I should not think so. Leave that burden to us, and perhaps whoever happens to have joined us downstairs.
We should figure that out.
Indeed.
Place for us to rest, maybe.
Perhaps, yes.
That could be done after we
If-
deal with
if
everything
you
else
wish,
and we
I
see
will-
Ashe.
I would parley with this man, and I won't give you the burden of dealing with something new. In the meantime, she clicks her fingers, and then a chest appears in the room before you. Your reward for... I did say in the message that there would be compensation in the form of items and other gifts, so when you feel ready, that chest, the contents of that is yours. Let's see what this man has to offer us now.
Thank you.
She kind of flashes and disguises herself, and you see now a human woman with sort of shoulder-length blonde hair in kind of like a bob, pale skin, a very sort of no-nonsense, like almost a businesswoman-like look about her. She kind of and walks downstairs.
If you see Ashe, will you tell her that
Actually,
she
Can
doesn't
I
need to
actually-
talk, but
can I actually go and find Ashe?
Yeah, Ashe, did you go downstairs or did you find somewhere else to storm off to?
I want to go find. So, I most likely went upstairs to go.
Upstairs was locked.
Yeah, and then trying to go upstairs, seeing that's locked. I'm gonna go find somewhere to sit. Preferably if there's any like notes. The tables with all the notes and stuff. You'll just
Yeah.
find Ashe pouring over all the notes, putting them to a pile, starting to read all of them, and just, making notes in her own and everything like that. Copying them down and things like that.
As I would, Burlock would shoot a look at Warwick, but say, "Thank you. There's a time for levity, there's a time for joking, and this was not it. I apologize for my candor, and apologize for my shortness, but I've known her since she was a child. And to see no one do nothing hurts me more than you ever would know." And then extends a hand and says, "Thank you."
Death is
And this is
natural,
probably, but we
and
don't
there's
know what
always
happens
been
if
orders to things.
an order, yes. And in any other place, an order should be done proper, good and square, like all dwarves know they should be. But not down here. Not alone. In a place where we don't even know if we die down here that we'll come back.
But when
She
someone
deserves-
dies, bringing them back is not natural. It takes things out of order. There still needs to be an equation.
who cares if it's
Equalization.
natural? Does there?
Yes,
Spells like this wouldn't exist if that was the case. Sometimes people are meant to die, sure, but sometimes they aren't. This is a way of fixing that. She wasn't meant to die, and so she isn't anymore.
everybody dies.
You want an
Even
order?
gods die.
Yes. You
Even
want
the
an
god
order?
of death
Give me
died.
give me your knife.
But it wasn't
Please.
her time.
Give me your knife, please.
Never anybody's time.
Warwick?
Yes, it is.
Knife.
And if it was her time, then she wouldn't still be alive, but it wasn't, so she is.
Warwick,
cheating.
could I please have your knife?
Which one?
Your short, normal dagger, please.
I don't even know if I've got a knife, which is just not like a ceremonial.
That's
I'll
all
hand
right.
over. I'll hand over a dagger.
So I'll
I
give you
have one.
roll for-
I'll
Yeah.
hand over. I have two. I never
I
really used them,
take
but
the
they come in
dagger
handy.
and just do a 1 on my shoulder. And passes it back. Order is going to be kept. If not, a new one, me. And walks out and goes and finds Ashe.
See Ashe currently sitting at a desk, frantically poring over notes.
First off,
Sorry,
did
that doesn't make sense.
Ashe find out that Ava's alive, or did Ashe leave before that happened?
Ashe,
Uh,
Ashe
Ashe
left
left.
afterwards, I think.
Yeah, Ashe left right as we saw that she lived. Yep.
Ashe?
Just
How are
continue
you?
to write. Just ignoring Burlock.
Don't need to hear it. Don't need to hear anything or say anything. I don't want to assume what you've gone through. Waits there for a moment, listens, sees Ashe is busy looking at notes and just talking out loud. Just says, "You know, the first time I met Ava was in her little village when she was a little 5-year-old. This is before the dragon, of course. I promised her parents to look after her. We joke, we talked, we knew each other for so long. And yes, there's an order to things. People die, but not in this place. We don't know what happens here. You might not be able to say anything to help her then, but your actions, your deeds, everything you've done up to this point has proven that you've cared more than you cared to admit to yourself. As much as I want to pin you down, slap you silly for not helping then, I know that you care in your own way. You're not used to relying on others. You're not used to having people look after you. But you're here now. You're with us. You're with, as much as I hate to say it, it's your family. A very, very disorganized family, but your family nevertheless. So, just because you can't say something now doesn't mean you can't say something later when she comes back. Like, you've gone through a lot more in this place. A lot more than anyone else at the moment. You've pretty much, what's the best way to describe it? You've had probably one of the most powerful artifacts in living history. Willingly gave it up to a horrible, horrible dragon, which is probably going to bite us in the ass later, but that's the later problem. Face it off, you're stuck with us now. Your family. And reaches his hand forward as he stands up and just pats Ashe on the shoulder, saying, "And you know what family does? They look after each other. I don't want to know what happened to your real family, the one in Baldur's Gate and all that stuff, but sometimes you have to let go of old prejudice, old grudges, old things. Because, as you saw today, can be taken out just a snap of fingers." He just sits back down and just quietly cries to himself.
Ashe just doesn't respond. But then after a couple of moments, she just stops writing and just and you just see just tears streaming down her cheek. Just silence.
The ink runs. And the notes that you had just hurriedly made just to distract your mind are blurred with the liquid and smudge. And in this quiet moment, the four of you and Lulu just sort of, for the first time in you're not sure how long, just sit and do nothing. No one's looking out, no one's keeping guard, no one's cooking or preparing or driving. It's just this moment of quiet in the upstairs of this tower. And it stretches on for a good long while, but as you all take the time to process and calm yourselves as best you can, and all the while Lulu is just curled up and buried herself in Ava's lap, close, cuddling a warm, soft pillow of a holly font as Ava sleeps and recovers.
At some point, Burlock would have gone through and got a blanket and put it over her. And I can just imagine Lulu just crawling up like a cat.
She kind of like flies up to let you, and then just it goes straight back down on top of the blanket.
I say, thank you, Lulu. I know it took a lot out of you, but thank you.
She doesn't respond. She's quiet, and the telepathic link that connects her to everyone else, through it you feel just this conflicting mixture of emotions. There is worry, there is relief, but there is this nagging anxiety over, you can assume, the memories and what she remembered just then, and what events around that she's still not remembering. And she just lays there quiet. So, it's, unless anyone else does anything to break the silence, after a while, you see Ishtara ascend back up the stairs again. And sort of come upstairs and drop the disguise. Huh. A rather pleasant gentleman. He actually managed to hear the distress call I sent out before leaving the illusion. He seems to be interested in telling you what he knows about Elturel. He appears to have some knowledge of the city. And he didn't say much more. I couldn't get a good read on him. But he's versed in magic, that much is abundantly clear. He says he's from Candlekeep.
Well, if he knows of
Wasn't a weasel?
anything that's going on in Elturel.
He mentioned, yes, he mentioned, oh, what was his name? Yeah, some eccentric archmage who polymorphed himself into an otter.
Otter, weasel.
That's the
So
one
many
that
different-
brought us here.
Praxagor, that was it. He said he's not returned to the Prime Material.
Was the creature that
When was the-
Morton and I saw
Yeah.
you show up with?
Yeah, the weirdo. Yeah, he brought us here.
The one who used a wish spell, I think, or something to keep him as a...
True
An
polymorph.
otter, yes.
Yeah.
No,
No,
that's
that-
correct. It wasn't the true polymorph. It was Wish.
Yes.
It's very permanent.
Yeah.
And he was very
Strange man.
happy. Very strange. But
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, Better that than an aging human body, I suppose. In any case,
Well,
he's
he was
not
traded up.
returned. He is missing. So, when was the last time you saw him?
When we went, points to the four of us
When I
who originally.
met them.
No, you weren't with us at that point, Reservoir.
No,
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 'cause
she.
I
Yeah.
saw
Oh, yeah.
the
We
weasel
turned
show
up,
up and
yeah.
then disappear.
Oh, that's right.
little weasel.
Or the otter.
Be a month.
It was a very strange way for Mort and I to meet you guys. We were just like running, and then you
Yeah.
show up with an otter, and then the otter vanishes.
Well,
Month or two,
either way,
maybe
let's.
3.
I don't think it's even been that long.
No, it hasn't been that long. It's been maybe like 2
Days are
weeks.
weird. No, we spent 2 weeks just driving.
Time's weird here.
Friend of the otter. Of that archmage friend. We haven't seen the otter since we came here.
Ah,
I mean,
well,
Holy hell.
that is unfortunate news. I shall let him know.
I mean,
Um,
the otter
would it
he left us on his own.
Would it be better for us to go and talk to him? He might have word about what's going on above.
The choice is yours. If you feel up to it, I'm not going to stop you.
Well, I think we're up to it. It's just that we're going to be here for a while, unfortunately. There's not much we can do with Ava the way she is.
And Chirpy was our spokesman.
Just realized I had gotten Yashtar and Mordenkainen's voices mixed up.
Oh,
Never mind.
oh, no, it'd be hilarious if
Yashtar did not have a Russian accent.
well, it'd be hilarious if
Guys,
He was
Yashara.
Mordinkinen.
I mean, they've been hanging out for a long time, so it's fine.
It'd be hilarious if Yashara was actually shapeshifted into Mordenkainen. I think that could
decided I want to meet with the people who like helped me, but also I really don't.
Mm,
So I'll just pretend to be my servant
yes.
or colleague. I don't know. If you're feeling up to it, Burlock, I
As
didn't
much
take
as
too many hits.
as much as I want to just sit and relax, we're here to get a job done. Leave somewhere bad and you find it. Even that place is hell. And starts to walk downstairs.
Let's
I'll
go.
follow.
Come on. He knows about El Terrell, then might help get you out of your situation.
Okay.
Ah,
I'm gonna,
Oh, what's going on?
you're about-
yeah. I'm gonna
Anything
lag behind a little
downstairs?
bit.
Ash,
your fiery
if you
butt
need
down here.
time,
Yeah,
no,
I know.
Ash, if you need time, take it.
I'll be there in a second. I just want to talk to Ishtar for just a moment.
Oh,
Okay. We'll deal with that first. So the three of them go downstairs, and you're left behind with the Arcanoloth.
Mordinkinen, okay.
He will be in time.
How much time?
Just a night's rest.
Night's rest?
You must understand. The body is preserved in is necromantically generated and then preserved in not so pleasant embalming fluids and other such things. So he's not got a lot of strength in him right now, as the body has never done any exercise whatsoever. Plus the damage to his psyche, which will need to be reconciled with. That will take a lot longer than a night's rest, I can assure you.
So we can speak to him tomorrow then.
I would suggest that would be the better idea, yes. Although, I mean, I do share a lot of his knowledge. If there's particularities of his contract with you, where he sent you out, that will have to wait, but if there's any other pressing questions, I might be able to help.
I just have a few choice words to say to him. That's it. Nothing too important.
I'm sure.
As a favor, though, or rather, as recompense, do you mind can you spare a bag of hoarding, if anything?
bag of holding. Did you not have one already?
I do, but it is of my own make, and it is not as high quality.
I see. I'll see what I can do. I mean, I'm sure we'll have one somewhere up there.
Any spares would be great.
I'll
Thank
have
you.
a look.
Thank you, Shah.
Thank you. You've saved us both. And a great deal more. And she sort of nods and goes, unlocks the door, heads upstairs, locks it behind her.
Yep. Follow the party.
Okay. The rest of you head downstairs, and you see the man he's sitting in one of the armchairs in this sort of entryway, kind of pensive in thought, and he kind of looks up, and he stands from his chair, and he sort of bows towards you as you enter. Well met. My name is Alexandru. I came hearing the distress call and serendipitously arrived. Not moments before you showed up. I trust everything is all right upstairs. I heard that Yshtara seemed to say that
More or less.
things were sorted. Good, I'm glad.
More less than more. But more or less.
Very well, I won't pry. But, well met. Might I know who I have the pleasure of speaking to?
Oh, Burlock on guard.
And one by one you introduce yourselves. And
Just
he nods.
we're not in the best of moods. I'm sorry. It might come out. We're quite rude. Not the best of days.
It's par for the course down here, so I've heard.
That said, just for my friends here, I should be honest to say that I am also not the nicest of people in most of life. Because they will correct me if I don't say something like that.
Thank you for your honesty.
So at least we'll try.
However, we will make an attempt to be perfectly pleasant.
They're much nicer.
I'm Reservoir.
Reservoir. Trouble with mild magic, I presume? I've seen it before.
That's a discussion for later.
Of course.
Is she allowed to cast magic at her age?
Warwick, I will be pleasant with the guest, but I don't have to be pleasant with you.
Very honest indeed, I see.
Ashe and
I believe you might have had some questions for me. Actually, it's serendipitous that I've run into you here because I was part of, after you had left Candlekeep, the tiefling woman whose name I've completely forgotten.
That's okay. We've forgotten them too.
Yeah. She put a number of us to task researching the history of Elturel in hopes of digging up any sort of clues or evidence to suggest a history of its downfall, a contract. And we unearthed a few interesting details. Although, I must warn you, if you are tired, it could be a long story.
If we fall asleep,
Would
apologies in advance.
Would you prefer to wait until after a rest? Although, in truth...
we did have the contract in our hands. I held that contract.
Do you still have it?
We either gave it back to back to Candlekeep, or...
No, you kept it, you showed it to me.
We gave it to Elturel themselves, what's left of
No, I think you would have kept it.
We did not give it to Elturel. That it wasn't a secure. We hoped it wouldn't.
I think it's actually in the bag of holding, to be honest.
If anything, I've still got it somewhere.
Yeah.
I would emphasize, above all else, hold on to that. Do not let the very fact that you're unsure is worrying indeed, because that contract could hold the key to saving the city.
It is worded interesting.
Do you know how infernal contracts work?
The Practic Primeval, we've been
Practive Primeval,
given
yes.
the quick class.
But we're not lawyers.
I will give you the quick class on how they are ended. There's a number of different potential happenstances to end a contract. Either the devil who wrote it of their own accord ends the contract. Unlikely, as you could imagine. Alternatively, if you were to obtain both copies of the contract, in fact you have one already, and you were to destroy them, and I don't mean simply shredding them up, you would need to plunge them into the rivers of the Styx. If you were to obtain both copies, that would end the contract and destroy whatever pact Zariel had.
I will
Is
say
there
the contract had
any-
also a wording where if we could turn off the companion, then that would also breach the contract, because it's only here. It's only valid until the companion, until Eltrail is only bound by the contract until the companion, like when it's under the light of the companion. So if you turned off the companion,
But that's not true
then
of the citizens.
but
Or
the
at least we don't know if
citizens
it's true of the
themselves
citizens.
had a
We're still
separate-
forfeit.
forfeit, yeah. But Eltrail,
Is
I
there
mean,
any benefit to keeping the contract? Do they have to be destroyed together? Will this contract somehow help us find the other, or should we toss it in the sticks now?
As long as one exists, another will form. Both must be destroyed at the same time. You best hold on to it.
Okay.
It's not just the river Styx. There are a number of other methods, but
Volcano.
suffice
That one
to
does
say,
seem convenient.
magic of significant power. Alternatively, the pact must be broken. That is evidential. My question then would be, how, despite the pact being broken, the city will still be here?
So do we need to turn off the companion and then destroy them?
shouldn't it be the other way around?
You've
'Cause
seen-
if it goes back without the people just fall.
You've seen the
Well,
chains that
I'm
bound the bound of the city. We found writings on what is called the Dock of Fallen Cities. Suffice to say, this is not the first city Zariel has captured. Indeed, there is a dock on the banks of the river where these chains are connected, which pull the city downwards. Even if the pact were to be broken, the city would continue its descent, unless you were to break those chains. And then there would be the matter of actually transporting the city back.
Wouldn't we have heard of other cities being pulled in?
Make a history check.
can I make that as well?
Yeah. Absolutely. Not off the top of your head. You've no idea, Warwick.
Why not?
I mean, maybe they were smaller cities.
No, you've not heard anything.
City's a city. That's like they're quite sizable.
Well,
You're thinking more township or something.
I sort of gesture in the general direction of the city that was covered in darkness. Well,
That was a town.
Mordinkinen managed to. I'm sure that the Dock of Fallen Cities could also include towns and villages and settlements.
well,
Our point being, we don't know of any of them. Could you tell us about them?
Sorry, could you? What was? I'm out of character. I missed that question.
The
well,
other fallen cities, could you tell us about them?
None that I know of. There were rumors of a city disappearing in beyond the Sword Coast in a distant land. But
well,
Does that remind me of? Was that the location that Mordinkinen was talking about in his journal about the city with the darkness?
no,
well,
So it would have been a different one.
that city he mentioned was on the Sword Coast.
Okay.
But it wasn't a city. It was a small mining
Yeah.
village. It was inconsequential.
as much as I hate to say this, there is more than just one prime materia
That's
true,
probably
from
true.
all over the.
It could be from, and I just gesture to the Dunamancy book, from whatever plane invented these magics.
Yeah. Because her in Averna said, well, doesn't really matter where the cities come from as long as they come from somewhere. A soul's a soul, more or less.
Oh god.
How long has this been happening for?
So what you're saying is we need to destroy this contract and then blow up chains at the dock of fallen cities in order to set Alterel free.
That would be the summary of it.
Fantastic.
I know someone we can ask.
That is essentially the information I've sort of gathered relevant to your initial. I have information pertaining to the initial conspiracies of Baldur's Gate, but that's a long and sordid story. I should think I would rather save some items for when Mordinkinen is about, lest I explain
Well, tomorrow,
everything
then.
twice. Yes.
To tomorrow.
I can just ask, like, can we ask a god to maybe destroy the chains?
If that is within your power, I don't see why not.
No.
It's a very
Not that-
evil god that we don't wish to have further contact with. Go that route, Warwick, you will be going it alone.
Well, he's already offered his body once for one of us. He already knows he's going to die eventually.
We all die.
I would do. If you care to elaborate, I would be very interested. Which god are you referring to?
Please don't ask him that.
One owes us a favour, so if it means that we can deal with only one problem and have them deal with the other, that solves because there's two problems ahead of us.
Yes, our current problem is one super powerful person in hell. Why not just go to another?
I would say to the guy who says, Mother of Dragons, big giant scaly creature.
Oh goodness.
Yeah. Apparently she liked the gift and she owes us a favor.
We were just trying to save our lives.
Well, that too.
You rolled a 2 insight. I am
Disturbed and scared and impressed at the same time. Yeah, so am I.
quite sure what to make of. Well, interesting.
It's okay.
Fellows.
Some of us lived through it and are still not sure what to make of it.
It was another bad day. We lost our vehicle.
Very well.
I miss Bertha.
This whole
I miss
Avernus
Bertha
is
too.
full of bad days.
Adventure.
But we've
Any
met some
case.
In any
interesting
case.
people.
Pleasure to meet your acquaintance.
Do you have lodgings for the night, or would you need to stop up here
I
as well?
I have something I can stay in. Is
Okay.
not to worry.
Do you have alcohol?
I might, should you so wish it.
No, we don't.
I'm
need
just
some.
gonna walk back upstairs.
Although I am hesitant to accept strangers into my domicile, particularly ones who claim to have made a bargain with the Queen of Dragons.
There was no bargain they offered.
That is more concerning.
And for that, oh, before I forget, has Weaselman, Otter,
Traxagor, yes.
has he returned yet, or is he still?
No, he was missing. He's not come back from when he took you out to Elturel.
Yeah, because we saw him leave us in
How do you mean?
He
Magic and stuff.
That sounds like you saw him die.
No.
Well, we
This
turned
Ash
up
should be in the room for sure.
with people
Just-
chasing others. Reservoir here was being chased with a friend, and that's where we turned up. And he went, "Oh crap!" and disappeared off and did his magic thing.
You escaped using time stop, like every other Archmage knows that spell.
Did they?
So
it's a
he
prerequisite.
ran from the conflict. That is surprisingly in character, or unsurprisingly. Although
didn't think
the
it
fact that
was.
he's not returned is of concern. If he were to be missing down here, that was.
is
Lord
there a
knows
way
what trouble
to
he's getting
find
himself
out
into.
where he is? Like, would you know how to find him? Like, does he have like a little tracker, I was gonna say a little bell around his collar so people, so members can find each
No,
other?
in fact, quite the opposite. He has methods to keep, as many powerful archmages do. He has objects to keep those people who would scry on him from doing so. So we cannot ascertain where he is.
This makes when you get lost even harder for people to find you.
Yes, that is the concern.
When will people learn? Much easier if everyone could just
In any
be
case.
easily found by everybody else.
Perhaps, although if that were to fall into the wrong hands, that would be quite an interesting premise. Regardless,
Well, if you can't touch-
I
if you
have
can't-
travelled quite long and expeditiously to arrive here, only to find that I was not needed. But
But thank you
It's-
anyway.
a pleasure to meet you.
We
Next
would-
time,
provided
we'll
valuable
tag you in,
information.
and you
Yes,
can
we
deal with
will-
what
I
that
will-
was.
I will provide you with everything I know on the morrow, and we can discuss it amongst a larger group. I do believe there might be more joining us if more people have heard that alarm, that distress call. So this will
Well,
be an interesting talk about the fate of the city and what can be done,
Would you like to join our effort in
as there's much to
destroying,
discuss.
destroying all the evilness down here and freeing Elturel?
There has been a continual effort to ascertain the knowledge and nature of what I will present tomorrow back in the Prime Material. So
And we
believe me,
thank you
there
for
is
that.
there are happenings going on.
see, we're not just in here. We're just not here by ourselves. We have people helping us. I think it's finally time for us to call in our markers, as it were. So let us rest. Let
Indeed.
us go through our rewards, because I need
Oh,
something
yeah, the
happy to
stuff.
think about.
You're
it's been a rough
returning
time.
to the prime material plane eventually, aren't you?
Eventually, yes, I should be here a little while longer, as long as no danger is afoot.
If I
Nothing
write
immediate,
you
at least.
a letter to be taken to someone, could you send it back?
Of course,
Thank you.
it would be a simple matter.
Ooh, I might have one too.
By all means. Honestly,
If
the
I
least
asked
I
to
could do
slap
after
someone, would you do it?
all that seems you've been putting yourselves through. That's no trouble at all.
It's like all the time here in Avernus has been going from one drama to another. It's nice to sit down and just relax for at least a night. So, as much as I'd love to stay here and talk, I bid you adieu, and I will retire back to the room where Ava is and just watch her,
Of course.
and then hopefully Kashara pops up, and I just have a bit of a chat to Kashara.
She kind of... You're right there, big guy.
As much as can be expected.
Hey. You did well. You did good.
Didn't stop someone dying on my watch.
See that? See that? And he kind of like points to Ava. That's why being a fiend fucking sucks. Because no one does that kind of shit for you. That's why I like you guys. I like hanging out
What are
with
you saying? You're part. What are you saying? You're part of our team.
No, exactly. That's the point. It's I didn't realize how much I missed that, being stuck down here.
To be honest, I never thought you was a fiend. I thought you was a friend. Maybe a fiendish friend, but never a fiend.
Didn't you kill her before?
It wasn't us.
Yeah,
Like
Oh.
I'm saying that as Dell.
Oh no,
Like-
yeah.
And I'm saying, as me, it wasn't us. It was the GM.
It was an NPC. It was an NPC.
But your
companion who-
side.
Yes, outside. And,
Like if the NPC hadn't, you probably would have.
Probably
oh
not.
yeah,
Correct.
we would have.
It was rare, but yes.
But so back in character, I would be talking. You're a fiendish friend. You're not a fiend. You're a friend.
Oh no,
Yeah.
let's not kid ourselves. I'm a fiend, but yeah, a fiendish friend I like.
Fiendish friend.
Can't spell friend without fiend.
That
there's
is actually
not an-
surprisingly true.
R and Fiend though.
Yeah. Just
Exactly.
because you're a fiend doesn't mean you don't have to be a bad person. You can be a bad guy, but not a bad guy.
I mean, there is
bad
the
girl.
metaphysical aspects of evil in purveying, but yes, it's yeah.
We are
I
who we
actually
are.
wonder about that actually. If I've like slipped through the cracks of some like soul corruption or whatever.
Well,
Too much to think about. Can't be honest.
fair enough. But again, thank you for your help earlier on. I hesitate
I can't do
to
much,
think-
but I'll do what
No?
I can.
You don't have to do much. It just takes one person to make a change. And that's what I like to. It just takes one person to make a change for the better. If everyone just does one thing every day that makes the world a bit better around them, imagine what the world could actually be like. World, hell.
You know, I haven't thought of myself as a person for a very long time.
You're a person. Just because you're the way you are right now, you're still a person to me.
Well, I know that now.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Again, thank you for your support. Thank you for your help. It was appreciated. And
you
hopefully
see,
we'll keep going.
you see a moment of you see a moment of attempted sincerity before she just goes, "Yeah," and then
I love her so much.
So do I. We're trying to teach a fiend to be a human. Oh. And after all, and if anyone else is going to come up, I'm going to look at the chest and see what we've got in there. Because I need something happy to think about at the end of an
Is
episode.
Shara back? in that
she's
room.
up. She's upstairs. She's not returned.
Well, we can look at the fancy things, but unless there's a pearl in there, I used mine for the fight, so I will need to find a new one before I can identify anything properly.
Oh, you can have mine. I just toss her my pearl.
Oh,
Just toss it over. It's like, yeah.
Here you go.
thank you.
I'm not been using it anyways, so.
I'll sit down and, as we open it up, start going through the things.
Okay. The first thing you see is you just see like a pile of gold. Just like a pile of gold, platinum pieces, a great deal of wealth and money. But the first thing that catches your eye isn't so much the gold and the gems and the accoutrements, but the 5 items displayed neatly on top. You see a pair of boots, black leather, wrapped in sort of silk bandages, which have arcane writings on them. They seem to occasionally just sort of flicker slightly, almost imperceptibly. It's just at the corner of your eye. You see a beautiful, ornate set of plate armor. It's kind of got this beautiful golden color with maroon dark and gold sort of, what's the word I'm looking for, extending down past the waist.
Pantaloons?
It's not quite pantaloons, like almost like it's a skirt, but it's not a skirt.
Kilt?
Yeah, kind of. You'll see when you see the art.
Got art.
And you see a red cloak, which is got gold trim on it, and inside is etched with numerous runes and symbols in platinum thread woven in the inside. You see a rather ghastly looking ring, which is it's like a skull, and the top and bottom half, the bottom jaw and the top of the skull are on opposite sides of the ring, so it's like you're putting your finger through its mouth. And on top there is a cut amethyst gem, and dim, slightly flickering purple lights glow in the eye sockets of the skull. And the final item is most bizarre. It's unlike anything you've ever seen before. It's a metal contraption with a long barrel and a strange sort of handle gripped in leather. A small opening where it looks you can fit a finger through has a little latch, which seems to be connected to some sort of mechanism. And this too is engraved in numerous arcane runes.
Well, I mean, you got to identify the weird thing first.
I would like to subscribe to your newsletter.
Got to identify the
everyone's
weird
favorite
things
moment in
first.
D&D.
Your ideas intrigue me. I'd like to subscribe to your newsletter. Also, don't forget, if you're watching YouTube, subscribe today. This has been a heavy RP episode for Burlock, and I was expecting it too.
For everybody. We're also up for the 2-hour limit right now.
Wow, surprising.
I didn't even have the dice on for most of the episode. I just had that, yeah.
Yeah, no.
Oh, and Ava's not here because she has work, not just because her character died. Just I want to put that out.
Oh, we can say
Ava's
that.
not
We can
here
say that
because
now.
she's character's dead. She had work on.
Yeah.
We can say that now.
I want to really make that clear though.
It would have been funny if we just didn't have her in the episode because she was dead. Like, you can't come at me. I'm sorry.
If you can't tell, we're covering for Lorian
Man,
while he's doing stuff.
I've seen. No, I'm good.
Oh, okay.
You can go. You guys, I'm waiting for you.
Oh,
Oh,
thank
yeah.
you.
Oh, yeah, I'm identifying the weird thing first.
All right. You pick up this strange object. You cast a spell, and 2 words enter your head. The name of whatever this thing is. The pyroclastic pistol.
Oh, that's
Right.
nice.
This strange anachronistic metal revolver is adorned with numerous arcane runes written in Ignan. The tip of its barrel glows white hot with arcane fire when in use. An artificer can use it as a spellcasting focus, and if you are an artillerist, it can be used as your arcane firearm. While attuned to the pistol, you have advantage on saving throws against spell and other magic effects, and when you roll a spell attack through it, you score a critical hit on a roll of 19 or 20. Whenever you finish a short or long rest, you can replace one of the Artificer cantrips you know with another cantrip from the Artificer spell list. And finally, when you deal damage, you can channel one of your arcane infusions to overdrive the pistol. By ending the infusion for the day, you can roll max damage instead of rolling.
Right, so
And he's a good
magically, I understand what this means, but mechanically, I think you might have a better idea, and I'll hand it over to Ashe.
her eyes just open wide, and she looks at it down and says, sure. You can see her getting a little bit jittery. Her eyes just a little bit aglow. Her ponytail lights up a little bit like a Charmander. She just grabs it and just like
offer the pearl back if you wanted to identify it yourself.
just for a
But
second.
it's not cursed. You should understand if
I feel
you
cursed
simply
to be
want to
better.
attune. I think that you've had enough cursed items on your person. One is enough. One is more than enough.
I grab it and I start looking at the runes, reading them through, and just trying to see. Do I recognize any of the runes since they're written in Ignan?
You do. It's being written in Ignan. You see runes of just propulsion. You see runes of force and like fire and energy. This is just pure evocation condensed into whatever the barrel of this weapon. You see it. Essentially, it's a gun for you to fire your cantrips through, which essentially propels them with greater force.
I look at it and just shouldn't be excited right now on such a solemn day, but holy shit. All right, yeah, here's the pearl back.
I didn't know it was gonna be solemn when I gave these to you, but no.
I give back the pearls, Reservoir says, you can go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and study this for a bit.
I will identify the plate armor next.
Plate armor. If I know what would be more fun if I just give it to you and you describe what it does.
Oh.
That's the
I can certainly
There
do
you go.
that.
It should be under magic items and then dunamantic artifacts.
Ooh.
time stop.
Oh, it looks like the books a little bit. This is nice. This is actually very nice. It's very durable. It'll make it a little bit harder for anything to cut through you. And if you wanted to protect someone when you saw them being attacked, it would let you. Do you remember how that creature, when we were fighting when Ashe was kidnapped, how it switched places?
Yeah,
with
that
its
annoying.
followers? Well, if we wanted to annoy someone else, this would let you do it. And it makes you incredibly hard to kill as well.
Oh, I do like annoying people.
You can just hear Burlock snicker.
I heard that.
And all.
I know.
You were meant to, I'm sure. And I will hand over the Guardian Plate to Warwick.
We get a picture.
Show the players.
It's like Christmas in July.
Pretty.
Technically, it is July now for us in Australia.
So
Well,
you get plus
it's
2
not
bonus
for Will and me.
when you're
Yeah.
tuned to this, plus 2 bonus to AC, immune to being frightened. When a creature you see within 30 feet of you is targeted by a melee attack, you can use a reaction to teleport and switch places with them and become the target of the attack. In addition, you get, when you are reduced to 0 hit points but not killed, you make a DC 10 con save to be reduced to 1. And each time after the first, the DC increases by 5 until a long rest. So it's kind of like, it's just like the Barbarian ability, except it's recharged on a long rest instead of a short rest.
That's nice.
Do we get a picture?
I will.
Yeah,
I did click show to players.
Doesn't look like
You
we
might
can
have
see
to.
it.
You might have to
Oh.
put it in their folders
Oh, there we go. There we
I
go.
don't
because
know.
it's only in mine.
There we go.
Oh, it's shiny.
That's nice. That's more of a Warwick thing, isn't it?
You can have it.
I thought so.
I'll take that weird glowy thing.
The
weird
I
one.
will identify the ring next.
Okay. This one's a doozy.
Are you telling me that the skull ring is a doozy?
Yep.
I would have
look,
never guessed.
It's there for you.
I just imagine a skull ring with a little cozy on top of it, like a little pom-pom hat. It's a cozy, not a doozy.
Oh. Oh, this is nice. I think this would be good for you, Burlock. Do you remember when, I believe there was a time when I hasted and Ashe enlarged? You wouldn't need Ashe to do that with this. And there are a few other fun things. There's Shield, which I've used quite often to make me harder to hit. It's very nice. You could cast Shield, Enlarge, Thunderstep, Shadow of Moil, or Steel Wind Strike. All of, taking various amounts of magic out of the item, but it's like the Staff of Healing in that it gains it back, as well as a few cantrips. Oh, yes. This would be good. And you can do it all in a rage. And I will hand
In a
that over.
rage?
Yeah, you can.
Oh, that's nice.
You can cast a spell even when you're raging, and you can concentrate on spells while raging, but you have disadvantage on the concentration checks. It doesn't specify that it's only specifically those spells, so I think that you could cast like your ranger spells even when raging too.
Interesting.
Like you could be angry and heal someone. And you won't drop your rage because when you use your action to cast a spell, you can also make a single melee attack as a bonus action.
Don't you automatically get advantage on Constitution saving throws too when you're raging?
So it'd be a straight check.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's not bad.
No, it's strength. It's not con.
Oh, is that Constitution? Yeah.
It's
Yeah, no, strength.
yeah.
Strength.
Although
Ah.
my strength is 8, my con is 9.
I mean, it's not hard, but it's
Yeah.
Well, considering the amount how dice roll for us sometimes, any advantage is better than none.
Yes.
True.
All right. I will. Oh, sorry. I gotta put boots or cloak. I will do the boots next.
okay. There we go. Should be there for you to see now.
Oh, these are perfect. These would help Ava a lot, I think. Oh, yes. Well, if she's moving a whole bunch, she would certainly be able to go in and then come back out of combat.
That's what she needs.
Which would have really helped. And it's teleportation, so that avoids any wayward swipes. But it would also make her attacks more powerful. And prevent anyone from trying to stop her. Which could be good, unless we're the ones trying to keep her from jumping in.
I think should have learned her lesson.
Nope.
She
Yeah,
would
you're
be
right, no.
unaffected by difficult terrain, unable to be restrained, paralyzed, even stunned in the way that she does.
Remember the witch under the city in the sewers? Burlock? Yeah, the witch with the dead 3 people. She just ran off into the darkness. We had no idea where she, we knew where she was, but we were fighting so many things. Like, she kept on chasing and chasing. She's not going to stop, at least in my opinion.
You get the Reservoir. You get the impression that these boots specifically use dunamantic magic to affect time, so that when you can run into combat, attack, and then reverse time for yourself to go back to where you started.
Oh, these magics are beautiful. These magics are insanely amazing. And I mean, it's the dunamantic magics are on Warwick's belongings as well, correct?
There's an
the
element
Guardian
of it
plate.
there's an element of it
Yeah.
in everything you've seen so far. The pistol uses manipulation of space to essentially add force to projectiles and sort of bend them to be more accurate and more deadly. The ring of the ring essentially uses an offshoot of something called a resonant echo, which is essentially a part of a subconscious of you from an alternate timeline which never manifested, to act as like a channel for concentration. And yes, the Guardian Plate indeed has teleportation capabilities.
I swear this Dunamancy thing is like for the
It's incredible.
Well, I was gonna say for the teeny boppers and not for, or the tweeny boppers and not for the learned magicians. Ever since you've regressed in age, that's all you've been talking about is this Dunamancy.
I just flip him off as I start casting Identify on the cloak.
Okay.
I know whatever this cloak does is going to be so cool, but really all I need it to do is let me cast Mate's Hand to flip Warwick off.
You might, this one's a bit
tells you.
long. This one's a little. This one's a little bit longer, so take your time. I'm just going to show it to everyone.
Okay.
Steven Strike. On hit, target takes 60-10 force damage. Oof. Ooh.
Does it have Mage Hand?
It has a metamagic.
So dead air.
No,
What
it's
does
not
it
dead
do?
air. We just
No,
it's just the whole fact of going. Ooh,
Yeah,
shiny.
you just see Reservoir looking at this and just looking stunned. Oh my god! Oh, that's gonna be so nice. Oh,
Don't worry, Reservoir.
okay.
You'll grow into
Which
the
one?
size.
Which aspect?
The being able to, well, all of them, but being able to change my known meta magic options when I finish a long rest. Because I think this was just when Karsh and I were on the video call before any of you joined in, but I was talking about how I was looking at things for when we level up to 10 and how I was debating between some meta magic options. So this makes my job a lot harder. Thanks. But also, thank you. I love this because it also makes it more flexible. And oh my gosh, it's fantastic. I'm so excited.
I want to give... So, this... In addition, as you collect all these things and you appreciate all this new gear that you've gotten, you all level up to level 10.
Yay!
Yeah.
And this continues a tradition that my DM did for our game, where when the party reaches level 10, as as something to mark the occasion, everyone gets a custom-made magic item, specifically for their character and playstyle.
As opposed to the traditions from my group, which was about level 5 or 6, the party always seems to find a deck of many things. Because it's around that stage that you're invested in your character.
Absolute madness.
And when I say about 5 or 6, back then, that would have been around that level 10 mark of how much investment of time.
Yeah.
Because that's when you invested,
so
that's when you're going to kill your character.
I also want to give a quick shout out to the Griffin's Saddlebag, which is this online collection of homebrew magic items. A couple of these are taken from there and modified by myself to make them a lot more powerful because...
These are legendary items.
Oh yeah. They're not
these.
like the original. Like for instance, the original Meta Mantle just had changing after a long rest. It didn't have any of the other. It had all but the last. All of the spell options except for maneuvering spell, which is my design, but it didn't have the bonus and the short rest as well. I added that on top of it.
Oh man, that's gonna be really nice.
Yeah, and similarly. The Ring of the Arcane Berserker, again inspired by that, but it doesn't come with any spells, and it just allows you to cast spells when raging. That's all it does. And I thought like that's a cool idea, but it's kind of I want to make it something a bit more special.
Yeah, because I was going Steel Wind Strike. What does that do? Looked it up on. And it's like, oh.
Another part of the
It's
traditions on the channel.
It is a ranger spell as well, which is nice. I mean, I designed it that way.
Karsh?
Another part of the traditions on the channel is that we roll dice live.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I
so,
do one thing before we level up?
Of course.
I just want to put the cloak around my shoulders and look at Ashe. You don't mind me stealing your color, do you?
A little bit, actually, but it's fine. It's whatever.
Right.
You know, that cloak looks nice. Do you want to trade? You can have this new weapon, and I can have that.
I don't think that you would find it very useful.
Most likely not, but it is my color. I was born with it. So,
Maybe there might be some magical dye around here that could help.
At this point, there's the door clicks open, and Yashtara pokes her head out. I think I got. Keep mixing up my voices. I think I got just the thing. And she kind of reaches out. She pulls out this strange concoction, this potion. Here, drink that.
Me? Oh.
Yeah, you.
I will.
You don't want to know what's in it, but it should reverse the effects of the.
I will
curse.
plug my nose then as I try and down this potion.
Down the potion, and it is. Oh, it's like drinking molasses, but slimy, and it's disgusting. It's horrible. And as you gulp it down, you feel like there's this uncomfortable sensation of like pulling and cracking, but it doesn't hurt. You get the sense that maybe the potion also acts to numb the pain of this transformation as your bones and muscles grow, and you find yourself now, after a short minute, and everyone else, it's kind of like it's an odd and uncomfortable thing to watch. You're back to your original age.
Like, original? Like,
as
however. Reservoir looks older than any of you have ever seen her.
what was that?
Because
If you gave
she
her
was
alcohol, she was too
originally
young to drink.
younger, because of some stuff I had written in her backstory, yeah.
Wait.
When I was a
What?
kid, I would have paid a lot of money to get the potion. Like
She
that
doesn't
in
look
the bar.
old.
It's
Um,
not. It doesn't make you older. It just reverses certain transformative magics. In particular, ones that are more permanent in nature, unlike a simple polymorph.
Wait, you're telling me that this is her actual...
I'm 32.
What? You're older than me? Wait. How... You're 30... How old is Ava?
You can ask when she gets up. And we'll just cut there, I think.
And we are going to.
We're going to roll our hit points.
Oh, yeah,
before we
roll
go
hit
into
dice.
that.
I think I got that right.
So we'll do hit points. Anyone want to go first? If not, I will.
I'll go first. No.
I also
Karsh,
wanted to
you can go
give you
first.
those before you leveled up, in case that changed your decision about what to level up, Burlock.
It does. The thing is, Ranger level 3 or Barbarian level 8 for me. I'll go Barbarian level 8 because I get more
This-
additions.
This changes so many things with my level up, actually. Oh, man.
Yes, but you
That's-
don't. Am I the what? Is Warwick and Burlock the only two multi-classes in the team?
I believe so.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I'll be taking the level Barbarian, so
Alright, roll that d12.
Yep.
Remember, you can reroll ones.
yes. All right, so I'm gonna do it that way. What did I roll? What did I roll?
Let's try the dice.
3.
3 is still an 8 though.
Yeah.
I'll go next. I'm rolling a D8.
Okay.
I'm at
4.
110.
A 7.
You can go first, though.
Oh, sorry. I was reading the meta mantle.
Reroll ones.
Okay. Watch it be a 2.
Hey,
Oh, nice.
Big difference.
Nice.
that's much better.
How does math work?
All right. 10, not bad.
All right, and we'll let Emi do hers when she can. So we're actually going to end the episode there, but don't go away because after the break we're going to be doing a debrief and breakdown of the dungeon of the Firelight Penteract, and going through what you missed. What I'll be asking for some feedback on, like what worked, what didn't work, anything you'd like to anything you suggest be changed or be better, and yeah. So don't go anywhere.
So can I get the grim music? Which we haven't
Absolutely.
had for a while. We've had the same. I know the soundtrack you've been playing because I use it for the emotive sounds myself, and I love it for that emotive, which has been this entire episode.
Yeah, it's
We'll
nice
get
that you have
the
a.
credits roll instead of, and then go into a break screen, and then we'll do everything. Okay, so we'll see.
And in fact, those first few tracks were battle bards.
Yeah, I could tell that one. Yeah. So we'll be back soon. Stick around. We're going to just have a nice casual chat about what we've just gone through and about everything that the Firelight thing which I can't pronounce.
Speak for
Penteract.
yourself. I'm too excited about all of this to be casual.
So we'll be back. Stick around. We'll also you get to see our new overlay, which may be a new overlay for us. So we'll be right back.
All right. See ya.
Yeah.
Hi.